Goosebumps audiobooks. Now, they have existed for quite some time now, and are really awesome if you are not in a mood to read a book, because you can just listen to it. If it's your first time, though, I'd recommend just reading it and then maybe doing a re-listen in a couple months, like I usually do. Yeah, so, for example, Night in Terror Tower. It's a Goosebumps audiobook. It has, I believe, 2 versions, because I believe they made a version for every new classic reprint book. Why is my voice deeper? That's weird. Anyways, yeah, this is one of the many Goosebumps audiobooks. One of the very few from the 90s you can see here, because here's The Ever 5, plus Welcome to Dead House, and Welcome to Camp Nightmare, and a few others in a different country or two. Yeah, they have very few back in the day. They also had an unreleased one, I think, Spirit of the Harvest Moon, which is for Tales Book 2, Tale 10. Yeah, weird story. I might make a video about that later down the line. Yeah, Goosebumps audiobooks. They're quite popular. Now, what if Goosebumps did an audiobook for a different series? What if Give Yourself Goosebumps got an audiobook? Now, this is a question that I hope never gets answered, because honestly, the answer would be quite scary, because I don't think I would want to listen to one of these bad boys. I mean, I would, but still. So, what is Give Yourself Goosebumps for new fans who don't know? It is a game book series under the Goosebumps name that was probably entirely ghostwritten, but yeah, it is certainly a Goosebumps series that exists, and basically, you start at page 1, and then you go to whatever the bottom of the page tells you, like, start on page 1, you read it, and then it says at the bottom, go to page 2, you flip to page 2, you go on until you find a major fork in the road that gives you 2 options. And, you gotta pick one. Or you can read for the entire book and get every single ending like I usually do, and hopefully a lot of people do. But if you aren't a psychopath, I would recommend just picking them up just to read a couple endings. And then after you make that decision, it can alter your storyline, it can flip over, you can have different dark endings, and yeah, just keep going and going throughout the story until you reach an ending point. And then you can start page 1 again and try something different, maybe try and get back to that place and try and figure out how to get out of it and get the good ending usually. There could either be one good ending, sometimes 0 like in one in Pain House, or numerous good endings, or a lot of bad endings, usually quite a bit, or sometimes even kind of in the middle endings, like, what? Yeah, so Give Yourself Goosebumps is quite popular amongst the community, and I think in audiobook format, it is certainly possible, but it would be very chaotic. Now, how would you make a game book audiobook? Because you literally have to choose something. You can't just be like, yeah, I'd like to flip to page 49. And there's just some confusion with that. Because, like, first off, if they were to go to the route where you have to tell the book with your voice that you want to flip to a certain page, what if you miss, say, a different page? Would it flip to a random page and go on to a different storyline? What if you just didn't say anything? What if it misheard you? And how would you even do that? How would it make it flip to that page? How would you get to talk to it? And what if you're, in class, would you just like, page 69? He said 69! Like, what would they do? It's quite a confusing concept. So, obviously, you wouldn't talk to the audiobook. If this were to happen, of course. No way, Jose. But, what if you were to manually, with your fingers, choose? Now, this is probably the most obvious one, but probably the most, least audiobooky version, because audiobooks are for listening. You're not supposed to be on your phone, it's just so you can go on a walk, You don't have to fuck around with your phone. It shouldn't be like that for an audiobook. It kind of defeats the purpose, but they could make a clarification like, hey, if you want to read this, just know that you are going to have to go into your phone and pick an option here and there. Or you could randomize it. That could be a cool setting where it just take you on a random adventure every single time. I think that would actually be a really cool idea. I think they could definitely do that. But of course, we want the option to choose, right? Yeah. So, let's say you find a fork in the road and you want to choose an option. So you pick up your phone and there are 2 buttons, or maybe 3 or 4, or maybe There's something else completely random. And there's sometimes even some audiobooks where you have to enter, like, genuine page numbers. That could be difficult to implement. Very difficult. So I'd say stay away from those or change the mechanics. Or rewrite the book a little bit. But when it comes to just the regular old stuff, just click one of the two options, and of course it'll say, go to page 42 to, I don't know, kill a goose, or go to page 102 to make out with Barack Obama's cousin, I don't know. Some weird stuff, of course, you know, because these books are wild as hell. Also, there's another problemo that comes up with this. Not just the mechanics of how you would go through the book, it's what the contents are of the book itself. GYGs are known for having really dark endings sometimes. Like, I'm not going to spoil any in particular, but I will spoil an ending, but I won't say the book. In a particular GYG book, there's an ending where he got shot through a cannon and you splatter on the ground. It is very gross, very, well, not graphic because it's not really described. It's just heavily hinted that you aren't gonna survive that. And it's pretty nasty. There's another ending in another book where you get crushed by cave crystals. Actually, in two separate books it happens, so I guess the ghostwriters really like doing that. Anyways, yeah, really gross endings sometimes, and that's like the least bad of them. There's some really bad and gross endings. There's also some funny and, you know, kind and safe ones, but there's really gross death endings and stuff. So those would definitely have to be rewritten, toned down, because in modern day, I don't think they would approve of that, because, like, Welcome to the Dead House was nearly banned. I think it was banned. Same with The Girl Cried Monster for having some very graphic stuff in it as well. But a GYG book is just unpredictable. Your child doesn't even know what's coming. So it's going to be really tough. They're definitely going to have to rewrite some stuff or reword it. I'd say rewording is probably the best way out of some of these scenarios where you have to not really choose a page, but more or less remember a page. It's weird. There's some weird mechanics. When it comes down to, would we get them? No. But what if we got them? Well, there'd definitely be a select few that would and wouldn't come out. Yeah. I think it's certainly possible we'll get one day, but I just don't think, it won't be anytime soon. Yeah. Quite an interesting video. I wanted to make this video for a while now, just as a little interesting talk video, like, what if there were GYG audiobooks, or what if it were to happen? How would they go about it? And how would I think they would go about it? How would I go about it if I were to make the audiobooks? Yeah, it'd certainly be a very complicated process, but keep in mind that if they do gamebook audiobooks, this means that not only would Goosebumps get gamebook audiobooks, this would revolutionize audiobooks, because there are not just Goosebumps gamebooks, okay? Gamebooks are a whole genre of books that should get audiobooks, and for all I know, there might be gamebook audiobooks out there. I might be stupid. I'm sure this would work a lot better in the 90s, when you literally just have a little cassette player attached to you, or at least sometimes. And you could just maybe flip a button to go one page or another. In modern day, I don't know, your phone, I think people want to be less on their phone. I'll just say that. Even if it means, you know, listening to an audiobook. It's weird. It's very complicated. So, yeah, tell me what you guys think. Do you think we'll ever get a GYG audiobook, or do you think we won't? Yeah, just give me your thoughts on how you think they would go about it. What other series do you think we could get audiobooks for? Because I think it's certainly possible to get Tales, maybe, if we get more classic reprints for those. Series 2000s, and other spin-offs, maybe even triple header for Lucky as Hell. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little, quick video. It's not very quick, but yeah, very interesting topic, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. And I also forgot to mention, I also got the Goosebumps vinyl today, as you can see, so yeah, sweet. And yeah, bye. Sexual.